ride the wave of girls volleyball action to the coast for the game of the week on Bright House Sports Network. And trust me, we are anticipating a rowdy crowd for this district battle between the Rockledge Raiders and the number 7 Merritt Island Mustangs. Now, this Mustangs program continues to breed success, making back-to-back state finals appearances, including winning the Class 5A state championship in 2011, bringing home the first girls volleyball title in school history. As we welcome you in alongside Aaron Campbell, I'm Tiffany Green, and Merritt Island has had a stronghold over district opponents, winning 8 straight district titles. But when you take a look at this Rockledge team, they are a rising team in Brevard County. What do the Raiders have to do in order to tame those Mustangs tonight?
Well, if I'm Coach Bolden, I'm telling my girls, hey, Merritt Island isn't as big as they used to be, but that doesn't mean that they have lost anything on the offensive side. Rockledge just really needs to settle down, play really sound and scrappy defense to frustrate that Merritt Island offense.
And Aaron, we know that volleyball is a team sport, but sometimes all you need is one player to get it going. And for the Raiders, it's sophomore middle blocker, Janae Baker.
And Baker's just that girl that's going to be everywhere on the court. Not only is she a great middle blocker, she's also very sound in her passing game. And she's one of those girls that does not get frustrated or rattled easily. So keep an eye out for her mental game.
The main cog for Merritt Island is senior Becca Bauer. She is the Mustangs' 3-year captain.
And she plays both outside and middle blocker in some rotations. She's just that girl that you can put anywhere on the court and she'll be successful. Something to watch for with her is her defensive reads. She does a really good job on the backside of the ball.
Well, we are headed for a district battle for this Space Coast showdown on Bright House Sports Network. First serve is coming up after the break. It's Tuesday night girls volleyball action here in Merritt Island inside the Mustangs gymnasium. As you can see, the crowd is starting to file in. You can see a bunch of black and gold here in the stands. And as we get set for this volleyball match, the Central Florida Honda dealers and Gulf Coast Honda dealers, keys to the game. Aaron, what are they?
If I'm Rockledge, I want to control my emotions, not let those roller coasters of the game affect how we play. And if I'm Merritt Island, short-term memory. This Rockledge team is going to come out all out on defense. They have to play. They're going to play really tough and scrappy. But if you're Merritt Island, you just move on to the next play and keep attacking and keep attacking.
And for the Raiders, their starting lineup goes a little something like this. Rashina Mansell at middle blocker. The setter, Alex Hollaball, Katie Seymour, Janae Baker, who we featured in the open, Brooke Berberet, Rachel Glab, who converted from middle blocker to right side, and Marilyn Martinez. And for Merritt Island on the other side, it's Haley Boucher, Anna Garrett, Becca Bauer, Skylar Lears, Alyssa Zwolinski, Marina Morales, and Rachel Petkosh. And for Petkosh, she started at libero in back-to-back state finals as we are underway here at Merritt Island. And already the Mustangs are rewarded with a point.
And that's exactly what I thought Merritt Island would come in this game. They'd come in really hot those first few points. I expect them to go up maybe on a 5-point run here, but Rockledge is really tough, and they'll bounce back from it.
So Janae Baker gets into the action and gets Rockledge on the board.
And already you can see Baker's athleticism. That ball was off the net. She's in the middle. It's a hard shot to make, and she places the ball really well. That makes the Merritt Island defense scramble.
So senior setter Alex Hollaball set to serve for the Raiders. She's got the most experience on this team, and here she comes up with a service ace.
And those aces are always so fun because you almost pray, wish every ounce of your being, please go over, please go over. And when they do, they're actually really effective, and that's something that really changed into that the new age of volleyball with the let serve and things like that. It's a lot more fast-paced. Big swing.
So big swing by Zwolinski. And a free ball for Merritt Island. Just playing at the net. Anna Garrett just played that a little long.
And you can see Boucher actually came into that ball. Her platform was really flat, really low to the net. When those free ball situations, you want to get under the ball, pop it up a little higher so your setter has more time to adjust to the ball.
And we talked about this in matches past. When you come with a service ace, sometimes you come right back and hit the ball a little flat on the service.
Right, you get really confident, and then on that third, fourth serve, you go back there, you just want to rip the ball. But that's when you have to be more focused. And especially if your opponent misses a serve, you can't come back and miss a serve, because those are just 2 free points you're giving away.
So Janae Baker, the sophomore, coach says when she catches fire, she can take over a match. And they'll need all of her firepower tonight against this Mustangs team as Becca Bauer comes up and comes down.
And Becca Bauer, you know, she's not very tall, but she plays like a big player. She gets up there. Her her athleticism is so high, and she just reads that block. See, the left-handed blocker of that, left hand of that blocker doesn't really drop into that seam, and she's going to eat that up all day. You have to block that cross-court shot for her.
Petkosh with the serve. And Mansell hits it over. And from that back row, and Zwolinski has a big swing.
Big, powerful swing. You can see on that ball, her pop, the wrist pop, actually went a little flat. She didn't swing on it like she does when she's on the front row, which is a good thing, but she didn't finish it enough to get that ball to drop into the court.
Marilyn Martinez, her second year as a varsity starter, 3rd overall with this Raiders club. Senior libero. And Petkosh. And right there in the pocket is Brooke Berberet. She finds the sweet spot.
And that's a really hard shot to defend, because it's actually going between your right back, your setter position, and that middle back. The ball drops into that seam. Who's going to get that ball? Typically, the middle back will run over and do a run-through on that ball.
And this one is out. So Rockledge coming into Merritt Island, taking a 6-4 lead early on.
And Rockledge is doing a really good job of serving tough already so far. Yeah, they've made a lot of service errors, but you can tell that that's their part of their game plan. Come in, serve tough, get Merritt Island out of system as much as possible, and minimize their options on offense.
Abby Schaefer on the serve. Great save by Hollabaugh. And Becca Bowers met at the net by Mansell. Net violation by the Raiders gives the Mustangs point number 5.
And that's the rotation where Bauer is actually serving as the middle blocker. She came in on a 32 or a 3 in a tempo, forcing that Rockledge team to not really know where she was going to attack from and get that touch on the net.
So Berberet, and just off the fingertips of the Mustangs.
Berberet just finding that sweet spot in between the hands. Especially when you're out of system, it's hard to read those plays, but when you're out of system, sometimes the block is a little bit less disciplined. So very smart shot to attack the hands.
Set up for Becca Bauer. Hollabaugh to Mansell.
Great swing.
Great dig by Petkosh as well. And Skylar Lears. Oh boy. We're seeing
rally.
some great back and forth, and the rally point goes to Merritt Island.
And that's exactly what I expected from both of these teams. Just liberos sitting in their defense, being positioned, being stopped when the attacker's swinging, and getting in there and just digging those balls.
And Aaron, if you look at this Merritt Island team, you know, they're not as big as they have been in years past. They do not have the same size that they did, say, for the last 2 state championship or finals appearances. And for Rockledge, they've got the size. They've got the strength.
Right, and I think what's unique about Merritt Island is a lot of these girls played with the bigger players. They played on those they play like big players. They don't shy away at all at the net. They swing just as aggressively as a big outside or a big middle. And, you know, Rockledge, that's only an advantage for them on the blocking side. And you'll see as they progress throughout the season, they'll get more and more comfortable in their offense, and those big players will take big swings.
Zwolinski was feeling real good and comfortable on that last swing. Becca Bauer, 3rd-year captain, also ranked 6th in her class.
Going back there and just swinging fearlessly, and that's so important when you're playing in.
And and that one is off.
You can tell by how Merritt Island is on the service line that they're trying to run a quicker tempo of a game. They want to dictate how the game's going to go. They don't want Rockledge to be able to take the momentum back at any point. So they're going to go back there, not take their time, and just go attack, attack, attack. And that's what I really like about the Mustang team.
And when you don't have the same size, is it more about ball control?
Absolutely, and it's about finding shots, because if you're a
unclear
smaller attacker going against a bigger hitter, your options are a lot more limited. So you just have to be a smarter player and find those shots in the defense that are going to work well for you.
Well, Haley Boucher just checks in, and she found the sweet spot here on the Rockledge side. So Merritt Island with a 1-point advantage still in the first set. And a service ace by Skylar Lears.
That's that tough serving that we're talking about. Going back there and just swinging fearlessly, and that's so important when you're playing in close matches like this. You just have to be brave and go swing and rip it. Great defense by Rockledge.
So Lears to Garrett, and then there's Wolinski.
And Zwolinski, she's a small player, but what Coach said about her, she actually touches 9'5", and you can see here, her reach is so high on that ball, and she uses those hops in her legs just to find the sweet spot. Only one blocker. You cannot leave her with one blocker, because she's going to eat your defense up all day.
Was that a powerful swing by Zwolinski, her second kill of the night. Hollaball tips it over, and great save by Schaefer. So on the up ref, and he finally gives the point to Merritt Island.
Let's see if there's a touch on the block here. They're saying that it hit the net and went out of bounds. It's a close call. I would say that the officials were correct.
And Lears hits it to deep part of the court, and Zwolinski once again. And Boucher, and oh my goodness, a great block by Baker, and point Merritt Island.
And that's just that net awareness that a lot of people don't teach their middle blockers. She goes up there, she's a little off balance, Boucher's a little off balance on that swing. The ball comes down, she just puts her hand out, and her team gets a point, and as a result, it's just that middle awareness, staying activated in the point, staying focused in the match.
All smiles. It looked like it may have been off of her knee. Can you do that?
Yeah, it may have touched her twice, but sometimes it's a little hard for the refs to see that. But like I said, anytime that you can play the game of volleyball, anything you can do to keep the ball off the floor, feel free to do it. Kicks, anything you want.
This Raiders bunch, coached by Darren Bolton, looking to gain some momentum here in the district, as it's a big district matchup between these two, and its fourth season with the Raiders. Last year, the Rockledge Raiders made it to the state playoffs, but lost in the quarterfinals against Auburndale in the 5A region quarterfinals. Skylar Lears back to serve once more. Service ace for Lears.
And I can't tell you how hard it is when you're actually on the same side as the server and she's serving right to you. You don't have enough time to make adjustments with your feet because the ball doesn't travel as long. So it's a very tough pass to make.
It's it right back over to the Raiders. And coming from the back row is Becca Bauer.
And that was a great choice by Anna Garrett. Her whole momentum is taking her forward. She sets the ball into the pipe in the back row.
As we get a good look at Angie Patrick, now in her 11th season at Merritt Island. Brought home first ever girls volleyball state championship in 2011. And she believes this crew can get back to states, going with the motto of one vision, one mission. She understands that it's not the same team as if years past. They don't have that size, but playing as a unified force, she says, will get them there.
Absolutely, and that's just the game of volleyball. You have to play as one group, one unanimous group, be on the same page. It's like being a well-oiled machine. Everything has to fire on all cylinders in order for it to be successful and for it to move forward. So she understands that part of the game, and that's what I really like about Coach Angie Patrick.
That last service error ends a 9-0 run by the Mustangs. 16-9 advantage here in the first set. Anna Garrett sets it up for Becca Bauer. Comes up and comes down.
That ball was pushed tight, and Anna Garrett does a great job of controlling her body and using her core. Everything in her body is going backwards. She uses her core to push that ball outside, and Zwolenski just eats up the seam in the block. Great, powerful swing. You never want to leave her without a block because she's got a little scary arm swing.